Something gigantic was causing a stir along Portstewart Strand on Friday morning. Large footprints appeared in the sand, disappearing into the sandbanks. Passers-by couldn't believe their eyes as they took their morning stroll across the beach. Perhaps a giant had also taken his morning stroll.
The National Trust and the Strand were approached by Tourism Ireland to become part of this. And what we have here is footprints in the sand, and these are giant footprints in the sand. It relates back a bit to last year where we had the Game of Thrones filming here in August, and it was a wonderful opportunity for the National Trust and the beach to have this put on a world stage. I've travelled widely, and Game of Thrones is known right throughout the world. And just to have the opportunity of being able to talk to people across the world and say, actually, that's the beach I work on. The National Trust are involved, it's a charity, we're keeping everything right for conservation, and it's just such a great opportunity.
We have in Portstewart Strand today are part of Tourism Ireland's Game of Thrones fantasy props. We have a series of these going on over the next 12 weeks. It's a social media campaign we're doing, which is really bridging the fantasy of the Game of Thrones with the spectacular beauty of the North Coast and engaging with the 100 million fans of Game of Thrones around the world. The giant footprints have the giants going in the direction of the Giant's Causeway, of course, but you'll also see other things along the North Coast, some wooden signs which are showing various Westeros locations along the North Coast. So it's just all a way of engaging with the many millions of Games of Thrones fans across the world and getting them to use Facebook and Twitter to engage with the show and also to showcase the beautiful locations around Northern Ireland where the Games of Thrones is being filmed at the moment.
There's a massive opportunity for Game of Thrones in the North Coast area, and we've been working with a number of local trade and product providers in order to produce packages which we are now going out and promoting worldwide to the 100 million plus fans of Game of Thrones. I think this is a massive opportunity, and the providers that we're working with are developing products where people can actually have Game of Thrones experiences here on the ground in the North Coast. We are then packaging those up and we're selling them to consumers, and we're also working with tour operators around the world, all in the hope that we will drive more people to the area, which is going to drive more tourists and more revenue for local businesses.